Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kathryn. I'm a cybersecurity professional working in Tokyo, Japan. Today I'm going to be talking about why you should take the CISSP even as an associate. By that I mean, I don't know if all of you guys know, but to be a fully certified CISSP, you need to have 4 years of experience as a working professional full-time. And then after that you take the exam and then you get fully certified. But you are still able to take the exam even without the experience. And that is, yeah, even without the experience. And if you pass the exam, you're gonna be given the title Associate of ISC Square. And so you pass the exam and then you get like a congratulations, you passed the exam kind of message from the ISC Square. But you're not going to be fully certified because you still don't have the experience. You'll have to have 6 years of experience altogether since passing the CISSP. So, you're not going to be fully certified. So you might be sort of interested in the exam, in the certificate, but you might be thinking, well, I'm still young, I'm not going to be certified even if I take it now. Why take it now? Just wait until 4 years passes and then I take it and then I'll be fully certified. Yes, that is probably a reasonable idea, and I did think about it too, but I took it anyways, and I passed it just recently. And yeah, maybe it's not for everybody to take it early in their careers, but it might be for somebody, and I think it is for me, and it was for me. So yeah, I hope I can maybe share my experience and you guys can think in whatever way you would like. Yeah, so a little bit about myself first. I'm working in Tokyo right now as a cybersecurity consultant at a IT vendor, and I've been working there for about a year and a half. Yeah, so of course I'm not gonna be, I don't qualify to be a fully certified CISSP. And I don't have a degree in IT engineering or IT security whatsoever. My degree is actually in law. My bachelor's degree is in law from a Japanese university. So that I can't use that ticket as well either. Anyways, I've been working for a year and a half, and why did I want to take the exam and why did I pass it? So, well, first of all, what is a CISSP? And most of you guys watching this must know what a CISSP is, but a CISSP is a very comprehensive IT security, cybersecurity, more like a management perspective side of the IT security management exam. And it's got 8 domains, from physical security to governance and the technical side, the networking and the cryptography and etc. So it's a very comprehensive exam, and it goes on for 3 hours, and the questions are typically between 100 questions and 150 questions. That is because it's a CAT-based exam, so it's a computer-based exam. So it depends on how well you do on the exam, and it changes the questions that it gives you and how many questions you're gonna get. Yeah, so the questions that you get it's all different for everybody. Anyways, it's a very comprehensive, quite difficult. Yeah, it's known to be quite difficult compared to the other security exams as well. And well, it's bloody long. It's 3 hours. What kind of exam is that? And yeah, it's an exam aimed for managers and people in higher up positions, not for a entry level security consultant. Anyways, that's the exam. Why did I decide to take it? Well, the reason is I wasn't even thinking about taking it when I first started the position a year and a half ago. But then I've been working with a lot of managers, and I think because this scarcity in our position as a cybersecurity professional, yeah, there just aren't enough people in this field. So I'm quite young in the field. Everybody else I'm working with are quite higher up. So if I'm in a meeting with clients or with my managers, there's a lot of things that I don't know. I mean, it's normal because I only started out in my position, but I mean, it really frustrated me. And I'm not a perfectionist, but I would like to know what's going on, and I don't really like this feeling, when you're talking with clients, they don't know that you've just started this position. You are a professional to them. So you don't want to be like, oh, I don't know that system. Like, I don't know how it works. So, basically, if a client is talking about some legacy system, of course I'm not going to know about it. It's like, sometimes I'm like, I wasn't even born. But then I can't say that. I don't want to say that. So I would just be like, oh, yeah, and kind of get by. But that really, really frustrated me, and I really wanted to kind of fix this problem. Yeah, so one of the managers told me about this CISSP exam, and he said, it covers all kinds of security. It might help you figure out what kind of security you want to learn, what exists, and what you know and what you don't know. So I was like, okay, yeah, it sounds good. And that's how I first got into studying the materials. Yeah, so yeah, I did this video course that Mike Chappell has on LinkedIn Learning. It was only like a 24-hour altogether video course, and I was just watching the whole thing, and I was like, oh, this is really fun. But then because it's a video course, it doesn't cover everything, and a lot of the things that I don't understand, it just goes by. So I was like, oh, I really want to study this properly. So I started reading the official study guide that CISSP has, the ISC Square publishes, which is like really thick. It's a really long book. I don't actually have the book because I was reading it on O'Reilly, so I can't show you how thick it is, but you should watch somebody else's video. It's really thick. Even on the computer, the flipping never stops. You just need to click, and then it just never goes to the end. Anyways, I was reading that, and then I was like, oh, this is really, really interesting. Maybe I want to actually try for the exam. So I kind of started thinking about, okay, maybe I actually want to do this around January, February. And then I was reading it through, maybe doing some practice questions that the official study guide has within the book. But then it was really, really hard, and I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty hard. And that was around April. And I don't know if all of you guys know, but the CISSP exam got renewed in this year. So they basically published a new book. I mean, it's not totally new. Most of the things are the same, but a lot of things are new. It's added, and some of the things that you don't really need to learn anymore. So I was trying to just keep reading the old book and then try answering the questions, but that didn't quite work. I think especially because I'm a young professional in the entry level. So, if you've been in this field for a long time, it's just like, oh yeah, I know this concept, it's the same. Okay, I just have to fill in the gap here and there. And then there's not much, like, you don't have that much gap. So I think maybe even studying it based on the old material, it wouldn't be much of a problem. But for me, it didn't work. So I had to buy the new book this time on Kindle. So I got the official study guide and also the practice exams, the official practice exams as well. So again, I don't have the book, it's on my Kindle in my PC. But anyways, I mean, I think it got a little bit less thick, but still it's a pretty big book. So I had to read that from May. So I did that for like about until May to June, July. Why I didn't do it every day because my work got a bit busy and I had to do some other things too. So it's not like I spent the whole 3 months just reading the book. It's about probably a month and a half to 2 months that I was actually reading the book. Anyways, it took me quite some time. And then I started doing the practice exams and I did that for about a month. Yeah. So I did the practice exams with the official study guide. The 9th edition. And also I bought a separate official practice exam set, the 3rd edition. So I did that as well. And then on top of that, I also did the Boston study practice exams as well. So I did do quite a lot of exams. But yeah, that's how I studied. But while I was reading the book and also doing the practice exams, there were quite a lot of concepts that I didn't quite understand. And that is because the official study guide, it's a really well-written book, but especially for someone like me who's only been in the field for a short period of time, I don't quite understand, some of the logic behind the simple logic or the basic understanding I need to have to understand the things on the book. So I'll have to go on to Google and Google some of the things, or if Google wasn't enough, I actually used some video courses on O'Reilly and also Udemy. Yeah. So yeah, for example, I wasn't really good with the network concepts. I wasn't quite familiar with switches, routers, because we don't really think about that much these days. So I had to really understand that. So I used a video course, a boot camp on Udemy. And yeah, that really helped me a lot. So yeah, I actually did end up using multiple medias, multiple books, but I based my study on the official study guide. Yeah, so even when I was taking the practice exams, say with Boston, I would be taking the exams and then be like, oh, I've never seen this, like I don't even know this concept, and I'll read the explanation, and then I still would be like, well, this was never in the official study guide, how am I supposed to know this? And maybe if you've been working in the field for a long time, you would know it, you know, without a problem. But I wouldn't know it. So I would go back to the official study guide, and then in the official study guide, it would sometimes say like, oh, this is too technical. You don't need to really understand this, or you don't need to explain this in the exam. And I'll be like, ah, okay, that's why I couldn't answer it. But then, you know, if I could, I'll try to understand it and kind of go on to the next question. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I studied. But anyways, let's go back to why I recommend you taking this exam even as a early entry level professional. That is because it's fun. That's all I can say. It's fun. It really gives you a thorough understanding of what cybersecurity is and what you need to know, basically. And yeah, so if you're just starting out, or if you've been doing this for some time and you're kind of thinking, oh, I want to be a manager in the future, isn't it better to know like where you're aiming for and where you're heading earlier on in your career? And I think it's better to fill in the gaps as much as possible, you know, even in the early stages, so that you can build on top of that, and then you can thrive even more. So yeah, I just really think it's a good way to learn about cybersecurity and yeah, broaden your perspective. But well, one downside is it's a very expensive exam. It costed me over $800. And then you have to pay a bit more fee to register and all that, so it does cost you a lot. Well, I didn't have to pay the whole full price because my company covered most of it, but still I was gonna take it anyways, even if I had to pay for it, because it's gonna pay off later. You know, you might be able to meet more people in the field, learn more things. It might help you thrive in your career. I shouldn't say might, it will definitely help you thrive in your career. So yeah, I mean, if you're kind of thinking like, should I or should I not, I would say, well, why not? Like, if you're spending time or dwelling on the thought of like, oh, should I do this or not, like, why don't you just try and study it? And you know, if your work is too busy, if you have too much on your plate, and if you can't enjoy it, well, I mean, you're gonna have to stop it for a bit. But yeah, I mean, I recommend you just start studying for it. I mean, they've just renewed the exam, so hopefully they won't publish another book next year. They don't do that for like 2 or 3 years, I think. So I think it's a good time to start studying it and just enjoy the flow and see where it takes you. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for joining, and see you in the next video.